Kathy Odell, back again, welcoming you to Beyond the Crystal Wand, the new name of our YouTube channel here. We've switched it from CW Shop Talk. Below, I've left some of the old videos for those of you who have never been here before, and a new one from Tracy discussing the differences between house blessings and ghost clearings, because we sell both kinds of kits, and she'll go over what they do for you and what the difference is. My topic today, to start off, is going to basically be about metaphysical energy. What it is, or how I think of it and how to describe it. You can leave a comment below. Let us know what you'd like to hear about. Maybe I can work that topic into a future video. Let's start with the fact that we are all spiritual beings. I know you've probably heard it before, but I really believe it's true. We are not people with a soul. We are souls with a body. And it is our spiritual energy that actually manifests the physical body. This is now practically scientific fact. If you read anything or you've heard anything, it's like in quantum physics, every time I turn around, they're coming up with a smaller and smaller particle. And when they get down to the very nitty-gritty, they say there's nothing really there. It's just energy, packets and waves of energy. And energy is like vibrational energy. You know, you think of things undulating. You think of electrical energy, think of magnetic energy. These are fields of energy that you can't see, but you can feel the effect of or see the effect of. Human beings are the same. This picture here is going to try to explain that. This is a representation of what I feel like my spirit looks like. This is just the representation of the energy that is creating your physical body on a second-by-second basis. We all possess it. Everything on this earth possesses this kind of energy. It's like this rock, this crystal. Nice smoky quartz point there. I love smoky quartz. Anyway, this crystal has its own energetic field. You could almost say it's alive because it has the same spiritual energy. I mean, it's not exactly the same. Our spiritual energy is at a certain level of vibration that gave rise to this physical animal body that created this human brain that allows us to think, see, smell, hear, touch. The mineral kingdom has its own spiritual energy. Now, what its senses are, I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not a rock. But I do believe that it has its own spiritual energy. It has its own electromagnetic energy because there are fields. It's like, that's why they say quartz is a cryptocrystalline stone or crystal, and it carries an electric charge, or it can carry an electric charge. Quartz crystal is used in manufacturing and in technology. They use the crystals to carry charges and to send energy from one point to another. Don't ask me all about it. I'm not techie. I just know it. That's what they do with it, amongst 100,000 other things. But quartz is a wonderful example of that kind of energy. And all the stones in the crystal realm have their own spiritual energy. If you ever seen any of those Carillion photography pictures, they used to have them out 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They were the rage. And they always showed like living things like the imprint of a hand with sparks coming off of it, or the imprint of a leaf. And then if they tore the leaf off, like part of it, the imprint, the outline of what used to be the leaf was still there. Or it's like if somebody has a missing limb, it would show the limb outline. So that, to me, that just kind of backs up and proves the fact that we are spiritual beings and that spiritual energy still exists. And that's how, when you're talking about the energy fields around, people will say when they walk in a room and say, oh, they feel it's creepy, there's something in here. A lot of people, I'm surprised at how sensitive some people can be to spirits, ghosts. but they will pick up on some sort of negative energy or deceased energy, and sometimes it's not negative, it's just there's somebody here, there's a presence here, but it's not a bad presence. Maybe it's a relative, a guardian of some sort. Or you just walk into a room where everybody's happy and the energy of the place is happy. You're just joyous. You're picking up on the energy of all the people in that room that are just sort of, if you got a happy room and it's full of happy people, that energy floats around and through the ether. It affects each other. I'm happy, you're happy. Two people over here are laughing in a corner. Over here they're dancing. Over here they're singing. People will affect each other's energy fields, because when you're up against that kind of joy and happiness, everybody sort of shares it. It's kind of like your energies are blending together and spreading. Whereas if you go into a room where there's just been a big argument or a fight, or it was a tense meeting, you walk in and people are still milling, and you can just feel it. It's like, oh God, you just want to get out because you can feel the tension in the air. You, as a human spiritual being, are picking up on the spiritual energy of the people who are in that room or who have just left that room. They have left behind that spiritual imprint. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about energy. We exude it. I mean, it's who we are, it's what we are, and it just goes out everywhere all the time, and it is felt by other peoples. It is felt by animals. You know how they say sometimes if a dog doesn't like you, then there's something wrong with you. Or, some people, animals will just take to, and they usually don't take to bad people, Bad people, and other people, it's like, sometimes it's because people have a fear of the animal, but sometimes it's just because they're nasty people and the animals sense that. I believe animals have a lot more senses than we give them credit for. But once again, it's their energy picking up on your energy. It's what you're putting out there and they're picking up on. Energy is related to so many things in life. That's why people don't seem to realize in the Wiccan and pagan faiths, it's like first do no harm. You don't do anything bad to anybody. You don't send out anything negative, because anything you do, they say, will come back to you threefold. What it amounts to is you project positivity and positive light energy. You draw more positive light energy to you. When you project negative energy, depression, fear, misery, you tend to draw more negativity, fear, dark energy, misery. And I know when you're depressed, it's hard to pretend you're happy because you are just depressed. But you got to find a way. You really need to seek help to get you over that hump. Because the longer you dwell on the negativity in your life, the more negativity you just bring into it. And it's all about negative energy at that point. It's all an energetic attraction that you are causing. That's what all the positive thinking books are about. Because essentially, the basic truth is, you attract what you are. You attract what you think about. Because what your thoughts are energetic vibrational waves that are going out into the universe. And the more you dwell on one thing, the more you draw it to you. The whole universe is energy. If you think of God or the source or the creator, I envision the God to be, well, kind of almost the singularity or the original light, the creator. I don't think of him as that old man in the sky. More right now, when I picture God in my mind, I will picture like this big bright white light that I can't even fathom, but you do. It's a metaphorical, big bright white light, like in this picture. It just, I see God as an electro-cold white light that is pure energy. And it's like during the creation, that energy was self-aware and divided itself, multiplied within to create something other than itself, because it was a singularity. It's like in the Bible, I am that I am. Yeah. So now there you are. Who cares? If you're the only thing there and there's nothing else to relate to or to interact with, that to me would be mind-numbingly insane. However, if you have something to bounce off of, at least you have some interaction. And this is just my belief, is the God created the universe, shall we say, just to have just to have something to experience himself with, to look at himself or herself with, we're getting into philosophy here, and I'm very bad at trying to express my opinion, so I'm going to sort of hurdle this and just say that in the beginning there was the light, and the light multiplied itself and sent out sparks. This is how I see it. Shot out sparks of energy, and then all that energetic waves became the cosmos, which eventually became the galaxies and the universe that we know. And each of the planets had that spark, that spiritual energy within them. The suns, the stars, they all have that spiritual energy as well. And on the planets, life arose from that spiritual energy. Physical life manifested from the spiritual energy of the planets and the stars, which came from the primordial dust, the gaseous cloud, the energy from the very beginning, from the one source, the light. That's what's real in this world, and that's what's real in this life. Our bodies come into existence and then they fall back. Chemically speaking, we end up, they say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We do. We go back into the earth, the body does, but the spirit doesn't. The spirit within continues on as its spiritual self, as part of the whole, as part of the one light, as part of the creative force, as part of the universe. Now, I cannot say this is exactly how it is. I am not a prophet. However, this is how I see life. This is how I see the energy of life. This is what I more or less believe. And that's kind of the way I believe how everything works. When you think about it, we are all energetic beings that came of the light, and therefore it only makes sense that because we have that spiritual, creative, intelligent energy that forms us, we can affect the energy fields around us in social situations, etc. It's also why I believe that energetic, spiritual force that is inside of every rock, crystal, tree, another thing of nature in this world, also has an energetic force that if we could see it, we would see it glowing. And that's why some stones work better for some people for some reasons than others. That's why I tell people all the time, don't just take the stone because your girlfriend said, oh, you got to have this. Feel the stones yourself. Walk around, look at them. You go to the one that draws you. It's what's that energy vibration? Is this one of these stones that's going to be sympathetic with your energy, in tune with your energy? If so, it will help your energetic field, especially when it comes down to healings, etc. Or if you're looking to attract prosperity or you're looking for protection, you find a stone that feels good to you, and odds are, here, it will help. Like this little piece of lepidolite. I've got one on me now to help keep me focused. It might not work for everybody, but when I hold on to the lepidolite, it helps me stay focused instead of half scatterbrained, because I have a tendency to always have, probably always will. Except now I can just call it old age. Anyway, This helps me. It's good, they say, for ADHD, etc. But maybe not for everyone. Maybe the next person would find that this is a better stone for them to work to open up their third eye. Try to, let loose that spidey sense. Get your intuitive nature out there. Because your intuition is nothing more than your spirit being able to access the spiritual realms, the spiritual energy of other things, of future events, of past events. The third eye is opening you up to the universe a little bit more. It's allowing your energy to open up so that your mind's eye can see more clearly. It can understand things better. And in some instances, you can have that develop a little more clairvoyance, clairaudience. You can just open up your spidey senses. That's what another thing that lepidolite is good for, because the energy of it is in tune with that kind of energy. And if it works with your energy, if it's the stone for you, you'll feel it. You'll get the results you're looking for. The results I get, like I said, are to help keep me focused. Now, I haven't usually meditated with it for third eye expansion. I usually use it for focus. But that's exactly what the third eye thing is anyway. It's using it for spiritual focus, mental focus. Every stone works a little bit differently with different people depending on your natural energy vibrations. Another thing that might be looked at is a so-called energy of magic. What we call, let's say 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, in the past, what they called magic, we just would look at it as a trickery or science. People didn't understand why some things worked. It's like, if you don't understand it and it's mysterious, it must be magic. However, it's not necessarily magic, the word, as it is the energy fields. Magicians, Wiccans, witches, people who want to practice the craft, you're learning to focus your mental energy to bring about results. You're learning to focus your mental energy to bring about manifestations in the physical world. Not everybody can really do it, and it takes some time, it takes some training, it takes some practice. Usually, you're going to be working with herbs that have a natural affinity, they say, for certain subjects. Like, think of roses and love spells. Roses have a nice floral scent. The energy of the rose is conducive to or compatible with the energy of love. So when you're doing a love spell and you're incorporating rosebuds into your love spell, you are incorporating the plant world's energetic level of that herb or that floral into your spell, where you're adding your own mental energy to send out loving vibrations to attract that lover to you. Or if you're using pendulums or dowsing rods for divination, the pendulums and the dowsing rods, you're only getting yes and no answers. However, it's the energy that you're putting out there. You are trying to access, like the Akashic Records or the universal knowledge. You are trying to tap in to a stream of energy where knowledge is held. And you are using a simple tool. Oh, I don't have one here. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, here's a pendulum. Now, the truth of the matter is, when you're doing a pendulum, they say it's the micro movements of your muscles, and I don't doubt it. It's your spirit. Now, but you hold it straight. Don't go like this and expect things to happen. You want to ask a question, hold it straight, make sure it starts still. And when you ask that question, you are setting out to the universe the question to the universe, okay? Or to your spirit guides, or to your angels, or whomever you're asking. And it's psychic. It's psychic energy that's coming back through. So if you've got little muscular movements going on in there that I can't see because I'm trying hard not to, and they're going to cause it to circle or spin back and forth, That's your energy causing this to vibrate, and that's what makes it work. Now, you can call that magic, you can call it witchcraft, but it's simple exchange of energy between you and the universe and a tool you are using to measure. That's all it is. It's like we'll hold it up here and say, my name is Kathy. I'm known by Kathy. Am I known by Kathy by the family? And it's given me a yes. And I'm doing my best not to move my hand. Usually when I do it, I sit my arm on a tabletop so I can steady myself, so I'm not influencing it, overtly. And dowsing rods are the same way. You're holding them and letting them cross over or swing back or do nothing when you're asking. But once again, they're picking up, if you're asking for divination, they're picking up your energy. It's coming through your arms and it's going out to make them do their thing. Or if you're hunting for something for whatever reason, and I'm sure it has something to do with electromagnetic fields, because they're metal rods. You're walking around with the metal rod. If you push it, hold it over water, it's going to cross every time. Take it to your kitchen sink, it's going to go over. Take it over a person. If you get real close, it's going to start crossing. It's picking up the energy of that person. It's feeling that energy field and it's making it wobble. That's why they use it for ghost hunting. Because if they figure if they're in a dead spot and they're looking for ghosts, you walk around and it's not doing nothing and all of a sudden it starts to cross. There's something there you can't see. Just make sure you're not walking over an old water main or a well or something, because it's going to cross over that too. Anyway, that's just a little bit about energy and energy fields in the metaphysical sense. Please remember, these are just my opinions of what I've gleaned over the years. This is how I see it. I'm hoping I could help you understand a little bit more about it today. Oh, and I just thought of one other thing before I sign off. I'm looking at the background and I'm seeing the chakras. I didn't tell you about the chakras. We'll do chakras another time. That's the energy vortexes. They say that the universal energy is coming into your spirit through the Reiki healers and such. You will use the chakras for the healing process, concentrating on various areas of your body. But we'll save that for another video. Until next time, thank you for joining us here at Beyond the Crystal Wand. And we should be back within a week or so with a new video. Till then, take care. From the Crystal Wand in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.